Yo, we are live. Trying to get this all situated. Having a little computer challenges. I'll just call them challenges this evening, but it's all good. It's all good. We're gonna get the computer worked out, and get back to the normal routine. But hello. There we go on there. So
Just making sure we're connected to everything. There we go. All right. Boom. Pim did.
This one. I don't know how this is gonna work, but we're gonna work it out.
We'll make it work.
All right, there we go.
There, you can see us now. We can see you all. Hi guys, we're a little later than usual, but we made it nonetheless. We made it work.
Maybe we'll start doing it this way.
Hey, Fifi.
Hey,
Fifi. Go ahead and wave at her. Go ahead and wave at her. No, I meant wave.
I did. I hit it.
It goes. Don't know if it goes.
I've already pressed
it. It goes away when you press it. Sorry. How are you all doing tonight? Okay, with the hearts. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. We got a lot of info to share as we always do. So I'm glad to be able to jump in.
Thank you.
All right. So intro us in. What we got?
Hey Ashley.
Welcome to our live. We, as we do every week, we're here to share some value. Can we turn it down?
Yes. Oh, hold on. Our kids,
they're trying to
iPad devices are getting
trying to get their
loud.
shine on as usual. So we'll give a little time for that. But anyway, it's been a great week. Thank you, Brandon Geeks. We gotta represent. Thank you for the love. Ashley said she loved the shirt, so appreciate that. But yeah, we try to come and add value every single week, and Ashley already knows this topic. I get a chance to work with Ashley on in our 9 to 5 situation, and we get a chance to deal with amazing clients all day. So she can tell you firsthand that this is a pressing topic. So so yeah, the topic, right? Setting proper client expectations. I mean, this is we've been
Business 101.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Business 101.
You start your business, you're all excited about your product or your service or whatever that is, and you're not thinking about this side of the shop, I like to call it. But this is so vital because it can literally make you want to go back and work for somebody full time, or make you want to continue to press forward with your business. This is an area of your business that, is, I would argue, could be why a lot of businesses close. Why that statistic was after 3 years or after a certain amount of time, so many businesses close, and it's because of not understanding how to set proper expectation from the get-go on clients for your products or your services. So this is something that, while we talk a lot about branding, this is something that, all of our clients deal with, and it's something we deal with our clients, right? So definitely thought it would be something good to talk about.
And I was going to say, this falls up kind of sort of under one of our core values for the Branding Geeks, under the whole client experience.
Right.
Us being consumers, we know when we have, contract out other vendors, or we shop at other places, or go to restaurants, wherever we go, what are our expectations? We're expected certain things from, each vendor. For instance, we always use Disney when we go to Disney.
Oh, here we go.
Expectations. We know, we have the same expectations, when we go.
Magic. I better see some magic.
Yeah, we better be in the,
because the prices are magical, you know what I mean?
The prices are very magical, but well worth it.
Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, so, it's one of our core values that we, align with, so.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
gonna talk about it tonight.
Yeah, so let's dive right into it because we want to give we want to leave time for questions.
Yeah.
So we've, you know us. We always like to have 5 this or 6 that. So we got 4 today.
4 today, not 5.
You know what I mean? And we got that's all we got. We got 4 in our bank today. But we got 4 things that we would say is vital when you are providing a product or a service.
Right.
No matter what it is, I think these are still kind of standard things you want to consider and make sure you implement because it's just going to save you a lot of heartache and time. So the first one I would say, and this is mainly with those of us who have services that we're offering. But this can also be a tool you can use when you have a product. But the first thing we'll start with is a questionnaire. So a lot of times, whether a person came to you via referral, maybe they came through your sales funnel. They could have come through a webinar. They could have come through just social media. Come stumbling across this live, like we're doing a live, and they have a friend that has a friend, and they're on this live, right? A lot of times, when a person has their project that they want to work on, it's most vital for you to get as much details about it as possible. So we found through experience, through some trial and error, that it's a great way, a great intro, and even a great way to pre-qualify a person.
Right.
A great way to do that is to have a questionnaire where you can literally have a set amount of questions that that if you don't capture this information, it's going to make it harder for you down the road to pull that information out of the client, or this can even shift the cost of you providing that product or service. So first things first is establishing a questionnaire where you talk about things like budget, which is big, right? That's just like
huge.
To me, honestly, that's the whole purpose of the questionnaire, right? To find out,
if they're your target audience.
If they're our target audience, right? From a pre-qualification standpoint, are they looking to invest what it would require for me to provide them the service? Okay. The other thing would be, deadline, right? So a lot of times you may be excited about a new client coming and inquiring about your services, but if they're inquiring about your service and they need it done the next day and you're already in the middle of 3 projects, then you don't want to take on a job saying you can do it and then
you can't deliver on that.
Having to come back later and then say, oh yeah, so because what happens is that just creates a bad experience, a bad first impression for that client. So like Fifi says, budget is everything, because it really sets the tone for what you're going to be able to do with that client, but also it gives you an idea, like Kimberly said, if that's your target audience that you want to serve, and I think as business owners, as content producers, we all should be looking to serve a specific target audience,
right?
Because you good. Okay, we want to serve a specific target audience because that's where we're going to be able to provide the best value. Right. While we would love for hundreds of thousands of people to be on our lives, right? We want people on the lives that are looking to really invest in their business. They're looking to, really not necessarily be about money, right? But be about making difference in the world through their talents and the things that they offer the world. So, when we're partnering with clients, we're listening for that in these questionnaires, and you'll see we'll talk a little bit later about setting up even a discovery call to learn more about that, right? I don't know if we talk about that later, but I'll just dive into that now. You set up a questionnaire to get an idea of what they want, and then you have a call that follows that, so that now you can talk about some of the things that's written, because we all know through text messaging and all of these tools nowadays, stuff can be misinterpreted,
right?
Through just reading text, right? So we have to make sure we're doing our part to come in and say, okay, I know you said you wanted a yellow logo, but you talking like canary yellow or like I'm sick yellow.
Yeah, give some specifics.
Right.
And like Fifi said, she said this happened to me before. Someone wanted her to do a 1 month job in 3 days, but she didn't have a questionnaire.
Expectations, right? And here's the thing: you're gonna have these clients. If you don't handle this portion, whether it's a service or a product,
right?
You want to create brand loyalists, and you want to create people who are advocates for your brand, right? So this always goes back to branding as usual, right? You want to create brand loyalists, and what happens is if you mishandle this initial portion of setting proper expectations, then they're going to be out there saying you can't do anything. Don't ever choose them. They're going to be tweeting about you.
That would be not in line with one of our other core values.
Values.
Throw that away. Throw that away. Our other core values. Throw that one away.
Take your time.
It's been a long day, but that's y'all get what I'm saying.
Yep.
One of our other core values, we stand on being integral company and integral people. So if we can't keep our word, that we become a non-credible source, and we don't want to be a credible source if we're trying to build a business.
Yeah. So, and that, a lot of times, we mean well, right? So we're like, I never told them I could get it to them. And we're looking at Fifi's example. Yeah. I never said that I could get it to you in 3 days, or I'm sorry, this takes a month. I never promised you I can take a month's worth of work and get it done in 3 days. But if you didn't have that conversation up front,
she got that VIP money though.
Even with money,
I'm just
because they can try it,
I'm just playing. No, they do try it.
You got clients.
It's just a joke. It's a joke.
It's a good point because you have some clients who feel like I could throw all the money at it.
Yeah, and that should clear your schedule.
Right, and it's like, no, like I'm in business because I want to create a lifestyle that benefits me and my family, but I also want to have a life. You know what I mean? So even with your amount of money, now you throwing a couple of mil at your boy. Then I might have to go ahead and slow down a little bit. It ain't about the money, but a couple of mil. It'll make me slow down just a little bit more. I'm gonna just be honest with y'all. Okay, let me just bust myself. Okay, but anyway, if it ain't a couple of mil now, I'm gonna say, hey, listen, that doesn't really fit my schedule. I want to be of value to other clients. Right?
And to your point, Fifi's like, she said yes to the person up front, but didn't consider it, and the person ended up giving her the money up front.
Right. So now, and that's a big thing, right? Because now you've collected money, and expectations are misaligned. Yeah. So now you're in a frenzy to try to provide value that you may not be able to deliver on. Mm-hmm. So this is so vital. We haven't even got to the other point.
I know.
We're still on the first point, which is really gathering all the information. So
and just a sidebar, we're reading comments. We're streaming on our Branding Geeks Instagram and on our personal Facebook pages. So if you see us answering people, we're on these platforms. So you're like, where are they answering these questions at? That's where we're going.
Yeah, thank you.
I just had to throw that in
that's
there.
Good. That's good. Yeah. I should say speaking to
my soul.
It's the truth. You know it, and...
Fifi. And she was like, but I would have had my stuff together. I would have quickly seen that I couldn't take on any more projects at the time. Gave that thing right back.
That's right.
Hey.
And she's better than most because some people would already spent that money, right? Now you have that pressure on you. So it's important to, really establish those expectations up front. But it starts with collecting the information that you need. Mm-hmm. So, in my professional role, I use a methodology called Scrum.
Because he's a marketing strategist in his 9-to-5 role.
Oh, Lord.
Strategist.
Okay. So,
just messing with him.
She's been messing with me ever since. But in my professional and even before that role, I operated in that in previous situations. So in Scrum, one of the biggest things, one of the buzzwords, if you will, is definition of done. Right. Mm-hmm. So at the beginning of any project, anything that you're offering to the client, you have to make sure you spend the time. This is why you do the combination of a questionnaire followed by a discovery call, so you can gather all the necessary information, needed to deliver on a product. So you can confidently say, hey, I can deliver this for you in 3 weeks, 2 days, 24 hours, whatever the case may be.
And that goes into our second point with establishing the timeline or scope of work. If you're a product-based business, that's letting your clients know when, they should be an expectation of receiving their products. Or if they're service-based business, like you were saying, how long is this project actually going to take for us to deliver you the service?
Yeah,
like let's be clear on that.
Like for us, let's take websites. That's the primary product or service rather that we offer our clients. So when it comes to websites, we're very upfront with the scope of work. That's always the thing that follows right after we've sent out a contract, that client signed that contract, or rather that is the contract, the scope of work, right? So scope of work is really just highlighting and putting them at ease to know what's coming up next, where we're starting, and what to expect throughout the process. A lot of times as creatives and, and content producers, we're like, okay, I know how to get this done. You just don't worry about it. I'm going to get you something amazing.
Right.
And while we want to be able to wow our client and go off into this dark room or go off into, the wilderness and come back with this like amazing,
finished
work, dealing with different personality types. Some people can't handle that time frame of not knowing from the moment you said I can do it to you delivering on it. So it's good to have sort of a cookie cutter or standard approach to providing information along the way with your deliverables for said project or said product.
Going into your other point.
Yeah, which kind of leads to the point is constant communication. So You'll see these points go hand in hand. The scope of work is designed to properly communicate the scope of the entire project that you're working on. I mean, in the scope of work, we're talking in terms of service, but that works with products as well. Right. The scope of work or the timeline, in the product world, let's say we're dealing with t-shirts, then, you're starting to get into how long it's going to take to actually create that t-shirt. If you're doing custom shirts, you're getting into, the process of going from production to shipment, right? So you're communicating up front expectations so that they'll know, okay, you know what? I shouldn't even be trying to email them or bother them until XYZ date, okay? So with that being said, the scope of work is just simply designed to keep communication free and clear. And with that clear communication, there's a cadence to it, right? So for us, we like to, we have checkpoints, that you call it. You may want to establish your checkpoints if we're using this website example, or, even if it's a course that you created, right? You may have certain times, whether it be bi-weekly, weekly, that there's literally a human contact piece where they can literally talk to you.
Keyword.
Human interaction, right?
Right.
And you're going to see us pushing that more and more in these lives because, this fancy technology is amazing. I'm a tech head all day, but I am a consumer as well. And one thing that's a pet peeve is when I'm working with an issue and I have to send emails and I gotta wait 48 hours or 24 hours or so many hours to get responses, as opposed to being able to interact with a human, talk through the problem, because I may not even have a full problem. I might just be right there, and if I have someone I can talk to, that person would be able to further explain to me and solve my problem a lot quicker than me having to wait 48 hours for a solution. So so having the scope of work and having constant communication, it allows you to create that, to set proper expectations, first of all, for them to know, okay, when I should be hearing back from, my person that's providing my product or service. It lets them know, it just sets the proper expectations on what to expect at what point in the process.
Right.
All right. So that part right there is so vital. And the moment we implemented that into our business, I mean, I'm telling you, it's been night and day as far as the value we've been able to provide our clients with, because, they know up front that, okay, when we start this project, you know, I'm not expecting to be done in a day, but then
Right.
I know that, you know, the branding geeks are not gonna make me wait for for 3 months.
I'm not gonna hear I'm not gonna hear from them. you
Yeah,
know?
right. I'm gonna have some clear communication. So
Yeah.
it's important to, like I said, establish the scope of work and then get a cadence in which you're communicating, you're updating. And it could be small updates. It could just be, you know, some of my clients know I send them a text message. Hey,
Yeah.
just want to let you know I'm starting this process. I'm stuck here. This is where I'm at. It takes a second out of your day, but it provides such an amazing experience.
And they
And then
appreciate that, you know?
yeah, and if you get fancy with it, you get some automation with that boy. So, you know, like, okay, I have an email that goes out and, you know, at the 2-week mark, it automatically says, hey, this is what you should be, this is where we are with your scope of work and so on and so forth. But, you know, automation always is, it's a complicated thing that makes life easy, but, you know, it takes a lot of work up front to get it to that point. So obviously I don't recommend it up front, but if you get to a place it just makes your life easy, right? And then the last thing, which, like I said, all of these points just kind of
Go hand in hand.
go hand in hand. They add on top of each other. Is having clear and concise deliverables, right? So if, you know, the branding geeks, you know, our primary goal is to, you know, help you build a brand that people know, like, and love, right? Now, the way that we help you get that done is through helping you build websites, helping you with messaging that's clear and concise, that conveys your value to the world, and then gives your client a call to action. And then, you know, we do that through the building of websites, designing of logos. We do marketing strategy. And then also some implementation, a little SEO here, a little ads here, but we don't market ourselves as the top Google advertising firm, right? We don't say we're going to guarantee that you have 30% more leads in 15 days.
Right.
We don't make promises or guarantees that we know we can't deliver on.
Right.
You know, and a lot of times in business, when you're trying to gain, you know, space in the market, when you're trying to make a name for yourself, you know, you get beside yourself, you know,
Get ahead of yourself.
get a little ahead of yourself, you know, and try to really offer things that you can't deliver on.
Right.
Although you can say in your head, you know what, I'm pretty a crafty person. You know, I think I can jump on Fiverr or Upwork, and I can get with someone that can provide a service that I know I don't have expertise in.
Right.
It's like, yes, you can do that, but you don't want to do that in a way where you start to promise things that you don't even know that you can find a person to deliver on. You know what I mean? So with us, and what we've learned is throughout the process, and this also is another pre-qualification step, you start to see with clients that you're serving, whether or not they're invested in the success of, hey, thanks.
Thank you for sharing.
Good to see you. Well, see you, your image, you know what I mean? But you start to look at the type of clients you want to serve and see that, you know, for us, we're really passionate about clients who also want to take part in their success.
Right.
You know, when you have clients who are just wanting to just say, hey, look, I have $1,500. I need you to just make my ads work. Just make it work. You know, do all that fancy magic marketing stuff you do. Right. It's like you start to realize that although they're throwing a lot of money at you, they're not a part of the process. Therefore, they don't know what the solution looks like, or they don't know they don't know how to ID the problem.
Right.
So guess what they do? They go and tell everybody, you know what? I work with those branding geeks, and I gave them $14,000, and no one came to our website. And we're like, we don't send traffic to your website.
Yeah.
We built
expectations.
Yeah, we built the house. We built your virtual house. We didn't say, you know, we were going to go out in the streets, the virtual streets, and bring people to your house. But because that client never got involved in any of the process and understanding, you know, the ins and it's not that, you know, you want your client to be able to get in the weeds with you and understand all of the ins and outs of what you're doing, but they have to have a general idea of what you're doing and the value, the value you bring in. So, you know, that's really important to make sure you establish, hey, here's what I'm delivering for you. This is what I know that I can deliver. Are you okay with this delivery? And if there's friction there, if there's miscommunication or misguided expectations, then that's where you want to identify it and choose to part ways or fix it and then move forward.
Right.
But to move forward because the money's good,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that end of that road is not a good road. So
It's all about the money. You want your sanity.
yeah, because you have someone, then they think they don't purchase your time, and now they can get you at the beckoning of the hour anytime they want you. You don't want that. So let's recapping that. Oh, good to see you. So let's recap it really quick.
Yes.
How do you set proper client expectations? You want to run through it? 'Cause
Sure.
That's
all right. That's all right. How to set proper client expectations. Our first point, you want to make sure that, you're requiring your client to, give them a questionnaire in the beginning so you can have an idea. Oh, sorry. He wants me to move in a frame.
There you go.
Make sure, you all have an idea on the client's vision. Cleet went on to say, for us, our process, after we initially send out the questionnaire for a client or a potential client to fill out, then we'll have a discovery call.
Yeah. And it's just that, right? You're discovering, you're going to ask more questions about the questionnaire. You're going to, obviously, you're going to identify if there's a fit. The good thing about being a business owner is you get to choose your clients. Yeah. I think sometimes we feel like, we've been talking about this contrast between doing stuff for money and doing stuff because you have a passion and you want to serve others. When you're a business owner that's driven by your passion and serving others, you start to realize, like, I don't have to deal with a difficult personality type or a misguided expectation if I don't want to.
Right.
There's no amount of money that I have to say I need to accept to take that. I made a joke about the millions, but honestly, if it's going to cause me stress, pull me away from my family, all those kind of things, then no, I'm going to have to turn it down because it's not worth my sanity.
Right.
So,
good point. Second, you want to make sure you are establishing a timeline or a scope of work. Like if you're in a product-based business, when can your clients expect to receive their products? Or if you're a service-based business, how long, letting them know how long it's going to take you to deliver the project. For us, doing websites, doing logos, we're giving them up front, hey, it's going to take us this amount of time to deliver you the finished product.
Right.
Oh, the Brandon Geeks built my website there. Oh, thank you, Lakeisha.
Yeah.
Also,
amazing client.
Yes, we love our clients too. Also, you want to make sure you're having consistent communication or updates with it. If you're product based, say Cleet was using the example of if you have a t-shirt business, sometimes stuff with shipping, gets
There's
delayed
delays,
or whatever.
Right? There's weather issues.
And as consumers, you want to know what's going on. So let your clients know, give them updates, the status. Even, if everything's running on time, give them updates,
That's good. Communicating when you don't have to, right? Because that's the extra value add that I think some of us can miss as business owners.
Right.
You might say, okay, nothing's going wrong. I'm delivering a product for them. But that above beyond stuff where, sometimes I'll text a client when I told them, hey, it's going to take a week for this. Right. I might text them 3 days in like, hey, I might actually be able to get this done a little earlier. I got a little free time on this day here. Let me keep you posted on that. And they're like, oh man, that's great.
And they love that.
Yeah. So like, that's a great point that you made. You communicate whether there's delays or if there's good things to report.
Right.
It's just keeping open communication.
Right. And then the last point, just being clear and concise on your deliverables. The client should know up front exactly what you will do for them and just some things that you just won't do.
And as you get more refined in your process, this will be in your contract. So you'll be able to highlight, hey, there's auto payments. If we're doing a payment plan with you, there's going to be automatic payments from this date to this date. So be aware of that. And when that comes up, hey, what happened? No. Look at the contract, right? We were very clear about what we were delivering at the times we're delivering those. So, if you spend the time documenting that and putting in the contract, then that's the next conversations you have about those things.
Right. And those are pretty much our 4 points for the night. for making sure you all set clear client proper expectations.
That's right. How these people run you through the roof. Man.
Right.
So, all right. Questions? Any questions before we let you all enjoy your amazing nights? We appreciate y'all coming in.
Yes, thank you so much. We've had a little more.
Hey, April, what's up, April? You've been consistent. I appreciate
yes,
that.
thank you, April.
Yeah.
We had a little more audience tonight. I wonder, like, does 8 o'clock work better for you all?
I know.
Because 8 o'clock, I'm seeing, you know, the numbers, and it looks like
It's
8 o'clock is a
7.
better time
Yeah.
for you all. So, April's looking very, 8 p.m. I'm looking at her name. 8 p.m. is looking pretty good.
Thank you for that.
Thank you, Renate.
Yeah, thanks for dropping in, bro. Yeah, anytime.
Yes.
Yeah, I like 8 o'clock. I think it also.
Yes, it's a good time. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Can you start over? Just
Yeah.
playing.
Yeah, it's gonna be
The replay will be right up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that people.
Yes, Adrian. Hey, Adrian. She said 8 o'clock. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Okay. 8 o'clock. Thank y'all for the feedback. We appreciate it. Any questions?
Yes.
We ain't got all the answers on the earth, but we got a few. We got a few.
We will find out, though. We're very resourceful. Okay. If we don't know, we'll find out for you.
But
Thank you all so much for tuning in on this Tuesday. If we don't have any questions, hey, 8 p.m. is good. I need to subscribe so I can watch it live. Oh, yes.
Speaking of that, how we want to do that?
Hey, soon. We'll let you know how it's
a group. That's how they would do it.
A group, but right now, you could follow us on Facebook and Instagram at The Branding Geeks. Set your notifications, okay? Put us on your notifications.
That's how you do it.
Yes, so when we go live, you will get notified when we go live.
April, put us on them notifications, though. You know what I mean? Slide us into those notifications. We got you.
Yes, but we will have something coming out soon where we're going to launch our community. So.
Oh, watch out.
Yeah, so with the community, you'll be able to get the inside on the inside with the Branding Geeks.
Yeah.
The inside
Whatever
on the inside.
That is. Whatever
See,
that
this is the inside, you know. Our friends that joined us tonight.
Wonder who
but if
said
you want
groups
the
were a
inside,
good idea. Oh, wait.
Oh, wait. Oh, that's when he arrives. That's when our brother.
Oh, good old Wayne. Wayne.
He's always suggesting in groups.
Thompson.
I know a guy.
Wayne, I know a guy, Thompson.
Yeah.
Yes. So, yes, he did suggest that we should do a group.
Yes, which we will have. Okay, so just stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, set your notifications to get notified when we go live.
Yeah.
Okay. I imagine you did. Yes, you already know. You did.
You already know. You already know.
And if you guys have not already, please follow us on Facebook. We are on Facebook as The Branding Geeks and Instagram at The Branding Geeks. Or you can check us out on our website, www.thebrandinggeeks.com.
Yeah, and you can send questions too if you don't want to. Sometimes you don't think of questions, when you're on live or whatever. So you can send in questions, and we'll actually bring it up in the next live. So
yeah,
we're committed to come here every week as much as we can, and and give value. So we're gonna be here regardless. Is what I'm saying. So
you can DM us too.
Okay, slide in the DMs.
Slide in the DMs.
Slide in
the DMs. Right, because I'm really the one monitoring all the DMs. So
yeah, because you slide in my DM in like 3 months.
3 years later.
It's all right. That's all right.
That's all right. We're working on that. That's all right. That's all right.
Cool. All right, y'all.
But thank you all so much for joining us this week at another episode live with The Branding Geeks. We hope you all have a better than ever week. Phoebe said, "I'll slide." Thank you, ma'am.
Slide. All right, cool.
We hope you all have a better than ever week. And until next week, we'll see you then. Notification set. Thank you.
April,
and also, please share this live.
April be supporting. Appreciate you, April.
Thank you, April.
She even want to have my clothing line for a few seconds. You bought a shirt.
For a few seconds. Oh, yeah. You're right.
I was on my creative tangent.
I'm thinking like way back when, but you just thinking of them. Yeah.
Oh, and I came back out. I'm back with t-shirts.
Yeah.
Listen, that's just me being a creative. I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
But wife like, nah, you need to focus on the web business. So, but anyway.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, but make sure to thank you, April, for having notifications set. Thank you, Lakeisha, for sharing this live. Please share this live with your friends and family, okay? And get them to follow and like the Branding Geeks. Tell others. Tell somebody about the Branding Geeks.
Appreciate y'all, man.
Look at way you guys. Y'all crazy.
Appreciate y'all, man.
But thank you all so much. We'll let y'all go. We'll let y'all go tonight.
You all holla, man.
Have a great night.
Yeah.
Bye.